A question I get asked a lot is, should I buy silver? When should I buy silver? Um, and I'm not in charge of your financial future, but I think I can give you a couple things to look at that will help you make that kind of decision. Um, First off, like for instance, today in America there was an article on Bloomberg that talked about the Federal Reserve sees that the U.S. economy is not meeting its benchmark for recovery. So what it's doing now, or what it's been doing, is buying the bonds. And so it signaled, I should say, it signaled that it has no plan to stop buying up these bonds. So in effect, more stimulus into the system, creating more inflation, that only helps the price of precious metal. So that's one thing. If you look at the economy at large, in general, is there a real recovery starting? Is it when they announce a job report and they say we've created so many thousand jobs? Where were those jobs created? Is it just a bunch of retail clerks and floor sweepers, or are we talking about these were manufacturing jobs, jobs that show that America is going to be producing again? And once again, that's not happening. The jobs that we are creating, if any are really being created at all, are these retail jobs, clerks, and some in the healthcare field. But we are actually losing manufacturing jobs, and that's not a sign of a recovering economy. So there's one other aspect you can look at if precious metals, if it's a good time for you to be buying precious metals, because that just adds to the uncertainty of the times. And when times are uncertain, people flood their money into precious metals because they don't know where else to put it. So all those are signals for a stronger base, if you will, or whatever, in precious metals. So if you're looking for a time to buy, as long as those signals are in place, I'd say it's still a good time to buy. The other thing you can do is watch, if you're looking for what day to buy, say you want to know when you should average in. I say you should average in on the dips. But you can go to kitco.com and you can see they have it broken down on days when there's predominant selling. It'll have, negative, say $10 or whatever. When those negatives are high, those are the days that everybody's selling. Those are the days you want to buy on because the prices are going down. So, and that statistic for predominant selling is for gold, but silver tracks gold in that manner. So when gold is in a predominant sell mode, so is silver, and that's the time to buy. In my opinion, that's the time you should buy the silver. Don't try to chase that price on the way up. If it hits like a post-Hunt Brothers high, like it did the other day of $31 and 20 odd cents, then you don't want to buy it at that crest. You want to wait for the pullback like it did for the last day and a half. We've had a pretty good pullback, and it was under 28 this morning. Silver was, so that would have been a good time to buy if you were going to buy. So those are the kind of days you need to look for. You'll hurt yourself if you try to chase it on the way up. Don't panic yourself into thinking you have to buy at this high point. There's almost always going to be a pullback because the traders are always going to take their profit, and that's always going to cause at least a short-term pullback for that, and then the base will build, and then it'll climb back up. So just don't panic yourself thinking you have to buy right this exact second. Calm yourself down, wait for the pullback, and then that's when you buy.